All right, welcome back, guys. You might be hearing some noises in the background. My 1-year-old is pushing his little walker thing all over the place, so you might hear some cute noises. Just ignore it. So I wanted to review this specific belt right here, and I apologize. I can't really find just a great angle to show you this entire thing all at once. I have so much stuff on this review table right now, there's just nowhere to put it all, so this is going to be kind of the angle you get for the moment. But I wanted to just kind of go over this because I think it's a really, really good deal for what's on the market right now, and I'll show you some alternatives that are probably some of the cheapest options that I've come across, but I just want to kind of give you this one as a comparison as well. All right, maybe this is a better angle for you. I don't know. It looks a little bit better to me, but this is probably the best angle I can get to show you this belt. And again, this company did send me this belt for free. They asked if I was interested in reviewing it, and I said sure, because based on what I saw in the photos, it looked like a very good deal, especially whenever they told me the price. And the price, I'll just start off with that, is like $39, so it's 40 bucks on Amazon right now. That includes shipping, and that to me is just a phenomenal deal. And I say that because, if you hear my knees popping, I say that because all the other options that I've come across are basically Condor and some other, like, you know, names that I've never heard of before. And some of those might be okay, some of them might not. I don't really know. I haven't tested all of them, obviously. But the ones I have come across that are a pretty good deal are the Condor belts. And one of my favorite, at least for the price, Condor belts is going to be this one right here. And I've been using this one, you know, for a long time. This is just their, I don't remember what it's called, their duty belt. I made a review on it a while ago, and this thing is like maybe $20, something like that. And it's essentially just a really thick, I think there's a piece of plastic inside here that they just basically sew nylon around either side, then Velcro on the other, and just kind of sandwich it together. So as you can see, it's a little bit bendy, but whenever you use it with keepers in conjunction with an inner belt, you know, it works fine. Obviously, it comes with just a plastic buckle. I replaced mine wherever it's at. It's somewhere around here. I don't see anywhere laying around, but where, oh, never mind, I do see it. It's up on the shelf, but nothing's on it right now. I had a Cobra buckle on that one, and it served me fine for a long time. And for, again, $20, then you didn't have to buy the Cobra buckle. But for 20 bucks, and if you wanted a Cobra buckle, that was like another 30. So for $50, you had a really good setup. But it required keepers and everything else, so it was kind of a pain in the butt to take on and off. I still like keepers best. Keepers, if you're not familiar, are basically like this type of material, but they snap on and off. They don't like loop around. You can actually remove them. And it's what I use at work. And they are my preferred method just because I think they're the most secure, especially whenever you have, you know, like something around the firearm or whatever. And I don't like relying just on Velcro to hold the gun in place. And you'll see this in a video a little bit. Also, if you see there's yellow and stuff on my hands, that's because I've been using spray foam and Flex Seal, and I forgot to wear gloves. So wear gloves, children. But anyway, so again, I prefer keepers. And one of the issues, again, with Velcro belts, which this is, you can see on the inside there's Velcro right here, and then there's Velcro around the inside. One of the other issues with Velcro belts is Velcro engagement around stuff like this. So on these, as you can see over here, you're not going to get any Velcro engagement where those are, and you're not going to get any Velcro engagement where this holster is. I would put keepers on the inside of this, because again, and it's the same problem with the other belt.
It was sagging a little.
Not enough Velcro engagement, so, which is a problem with all Velcro belts, which is why I like keepers. All right, I'm just gonna go for center mass. It always freaks me out how the plate moves. The hostage taker. I wasn't shooting you.
Good, yeah.
Some of those are high. Well, I will say, like, even though the Velcro's not engaging where all these are, I can still, it's still releasing because I have Velcro engagement here and here. Yep. But I would put a keeper here and here like I do on my other belts. So I just want to see how it did without it. And it's actually a lot more stable than I thought it would be. So
yeah, it does seem pretty stable.
So it has the same problems that all the other Velcros have, where you're going to need either to put Velcro on the back side of these blade tech lock things, or use keepers. So that's just the name of the game when it comes to you know, Velcro belts. With keepers, you don't have to worry about that. So with Velcro belts, normally what I do, and I do this with my core belt, I've done this with this one. This one I actually tested without keepers just to see if stuff would hold in place, and the Velcro, because that's kind of worst case scenario, and the Velcro, even with all the stuff preventing Velcro engagement, the Velcro around the back and right here was enough to keep everything in place, along with, you know, obviously this leg strap on here. So all that said, if you really want to have strong, you know, Velcro engagement, just put some Velcro, sticky Velcro, cut some strips and put it on the back of these. And over here on this, and you know, you'll have more Velcro engagement than you know what to do with. Then you may not need keepers. You'll see in the video though I didn't have keepers, and because of that this sagged just a little bit. Part of that was because this leg strap kind of pulls the gun down, so the Velcro was engaged, but since there's nothing directly on the gun, it sunk, you know, maybe this much, which I don't really care. That's not a big deal. Those over there didn't really sink, but obviously more Velcro the better. The other options that are on the market are more expensive. And again, this is, remember, $40. This, if you get just the upgraded buckle, you know, or buy yourself a Cobra buckle to go with it, you're already at more than $40. So, and this belt to me is better than the Condor. It's more rigid. It's still not as rigid as some of the other ones out there, but it's rigid enough. It's kind of that middle ground between rigidity and comfort. So if you have worn, you know, like really hard, like, you know, kind of like this, where you try to squish on the belt and it just doesn't move and it's uncomfortable on your hips, this would be a good option for you as well. So here's another option that's out there. This one has a Cobra buckle. It's another Condor option. You see, this one's laser cut moly, which has its advantages, which I'll kind of go over. It makes it a little bit thinner. So stuff like, you know, these magazine pouches, these are, I believe, the blade tech locks, mounts on the back of these things, and they fit over there just fine. Now, they don't fit easily over this area right here where this like weird adjustment is. So this is the adjustment. You would unvelcro this and then, you know, adjust it where you need to and then revelcro it back down, which creates it even thicker area, which these will go over, but, you know, you kind of have to force it over. But it will happen. But that just kind of shows you all this Velcro on the inside for adjustability. Kind of makes everything thicker. So this is going to have the same problem that this has, which I'll go over here in a minute. But I want to show you this as an option as well. Now the problem with this one is it comes not with, it has Velcro on the inside, as you can see. But I had to buy another belt that had the opposite, you know, the metal Velcro on the inner belt to go with this, because this one, the Condor, did not come with this belt. So this was another like $15, $20 on top of like the $65 or $70 this one was. So again, that puts you near the price of like a Core Essentials belt, you know, which is a little over $100. So to me, the Condor is just, it's not a good deal for what it is. And what that Condor one comes with is this kind of inner belt right here, where it's kind of that, you know, padded rubbery material to help it kind of, you know, stick to your jacket or whatever. And the reason I bought that is I wanted to use it with winter weather gear, you know, like jackets and stuff, so I could just throw it on over my jacket since I couldn't access my belt loops. But since I had that Core Battle Belt, or if you have something pretty adjustable like this one, you can just, you know, tuck your jacket or hoodie or whatever warm weather, you know, upper jacket thing you're wearing into your pants, and then just wear the belt over the top of that. That's what I end up doing most of the time, and as long as it's not, you know, below 20 degrees, I can layer up and not be a giant marshmallow and still tuck my stuff into my pants. So that's not that big of a deal. So I end up liking that, and I've only used this a couple times, and it wasn't it was not preferable because this thing would slide up and down all over the place, even though it has this, because there's no Velcro. I don't really like this method. Again, this is all that Condor one comes with. It doesn't come with a inner Velcro belt, so you have to buy that. This comes with a buckle. Now this is not, let's see if you can see this here. This is not a Cobra buckle, but it is very similar. And actually, if you look at this, it's significantly thinner, which I actually like. The Cobra buckle, sorry, that's hard to do behind camera. The Cobra buckle is significantly thicker. I don't know if you'll be able to see the thickness difference on these, but it's pretty substantial. Now the Cobra buckle, yeah, you could probably go rappelling or, you know, do whatever you want with it, but this belt is essentially Velcro, so it's not like you're going to be doing anything substantial, rock climbing or whatever with this thing anyway. So the Cobra buckle is kind of overkill because it's really just there to, you know, hold your pants up or hold your belt together. it's not really designed to go repelling. So whenever people use Cobra buckles and swear by that's all that they use, it's kind of overkill in my opinion. This works just fine, and since it's thinner, it's a little bit lower profile, so you don't feel as much whenever you go prone, all that kind of different stuff. I will say on here though, like this is a little bit loose compared to the Cobra buckle. The Cobra buckle's also, if you'll notice on here, it slides up and down as well, so it's kind of the same general idea. It's not really meant to be tight, so that means this can move around if it's not tight to your body. They're all designed that way, so that's not a big deal. Some people might have this belt get loose if they're not wearing it right. Now, a way around that is once you loop your belt through here, use this little keeper to kind of hold the belt in place, and the Velcro is what actually keeps everything together. Now, if you do like I do and you use this outer sleeve that comes with this belt, again, you can use it without this or with it, but I like it because it gives you extra MOLLE right here. But the main reason why I like it is it gives you extra Velcro that wouldn't be there, because the strap right here is for all the adjustment you need. And so if you take that, you can see I can slide it back and forth. It'll slide around wherever you want it, but there's actually two pieces of material that loop through here and back through, and I tucked it back inside of itself because that holds it more secure. And again, this Velcro right here helps hold the pistol in place. So I really like this because other companies, for example, the Condor one, all of this material right here, there's no Velcro. So you're not going to have any Velcro engagement here. You're not going to have any Velcro engagement here. So depending on how you adjust this, you're going to have to use keepers with something like this, versus this kind of gives you the option of not needing keepers if you really don't want to. Versus this, again, there's no Velcro on the inside. So they did their research, they did their homework, and I'm happy that they did. I do, again, like this buckle. I don't have any problems with it. It feels, at first, whenever I felt it, I was like, ooh, that's kind of thin. Not sure how sturdy that will be, because again, I'm used to the Cobra buckles. But I don't have a problem with this whatsoever, especially for the price. I mean, it's $40. It's crazy. So here's their inner belt. Now, this is one of the criticisms I do have of this belt. Sorry, I'm trying to squat on the floor here. One of the criticisms I do have of the belt, and this is a size small, by the way. I have a size 30 to 32 size waist, depending on what kind of pants I'm wearing. And their small is in that range, and it fits perfectly, and it has enough adjustment to get tighter and bigger if I ate a meal that day or something. But so the sizing is true, so pick your actual pant size and go with it. The one criticism I have is because this like flat material goes over the front on the bottom so much, it's this Velcro spacing right here. There's not a whole lot, so you don't get as much Velcro engagement as you could, like say on a core, or even something like this where there's more Velcro all the way around. So I wish they would do something more like this, where they stitched it along the top and then stitched it down the side to attach the two materials together. That's just a personal preference, and it's really just there kind of to keep it nice and clean looking, but you really don't need that, honestly. The other thing, criticism wise, that I would have is all the other belts that I've used in the past, except for that Condor one, which really isn't designed for a Velcro inner belt, uses the soft Velcro on the inner belt, and then the male Velcro, the harder stuff, on the outer belt. This one's the opposite. It has the hard male inner belt, and then the soft Velcro on the inside of this belt. Now, is that a problem when using these two together? No, it's not. But one thing that you can do if it was reversed is you could use this belt as kind of like an EDC belt if you wanted to. But you can't how it is right now, because this male Velcro sticks to your shirt and everything. So you're gonna have to tuck in your shirt, or whatever, or just use it in conjunction with this belt. Is that a big deal? No. But if they reversed it, then you could use this as an EDC, everyday carry belt, just to wear around. But the way it is right now, it's dedicated, set up to this. So that's just something that they could do maybe in the future if they wanted to. Again, is that a deal breaker? No. It's just kind of nice to be able to just wear this to the range and then, throw that on instead of have to switch belts. So that's just minor criticism. Alright, so now you can kind of see how rigid this is once you attach the two belts together. It's plenty rigid. I didn't notice any problems with it. Now I will say, hopefully you can see this on here, this belt is a little thick. The outer side right here, you can see it's 2 layers of material within the MOLLE on the outside. So that's going to make it difficult to attach stuff like this Blade Tech tech locks. Now they do work. I was able to mash them down, press real hard, and I was able to get them lock on, so they will. But just know that this material is really designed to use with MOLLE. If you have anything that's kind of the clamp on, kind of like these, just know It may or may not go around it. I was able to get all my stuff. So that's just something I wanted to make you aware of, that was thicker. If you have MOLLE stuff, I like this MOLLE better because it's actual MOLLE webbing. Put that on there. Versus something like this laser cut MOLLE, which is incredibly difficult to weave stuff through, and this stuff always ends up ripping on me. I don't know, this material is just flimsy. It's not nearly as durable. You can see how thin that is. I've never really liked the laser cut MOLLE. It's nice to be able to attach stuff like this on, but it's nearly impossible to attach actual MOLLE stuff to. So honestly, I would prefer just kind of either a slick belt or, you know, MOLLE like this, where it's, you know, it's still the half size, but it's actually usable. So this belt is good for that. I haven't had any problems with anything around here coming loose, obviously. Didn't have any problem with this. I haven't had any issues with unraveling. Now, I haven't, you know, dragged this thing, you know, strapped it to me and dragged myself behind my truck with a rope or something. But, you know, as far as durability goes, I haven't had any issues with it, and I've been using it pretty extensively for the last couple months at the range. Now, I will say one final criticism I do have, and again, these are all kind of nitpicking things. They're just my personal preference. None of them are real detriments to the belt itself. The Velcro on the inside is not as nice as like regular Velcro brand. It's not as expensive, you know, not as durable. Is that an issue? I mean, no, not really. This is a $40 belt. Again, the kind of the use I would have for this, because I already have a couple nicer belts that I use more often, this is going to be my new kind of testing belt, where I'm going to leave kind of all this stuff on here to where I can test other equipment. And then my core belt is going to be kind of the normal what I go to. But this is nice because now I don't have to constantly switch back and forth. So if you're looking for another belt that you would like to set up for a different gun, a different holster, you know, something like that, this is a fantastic option. Again, for $40, it's nice because you don't have to spend another $150 on you know, a nice belt. Which again, you know, a nice belt is going to be nicer, but for something that you're not going to use all the time, I can't justify spending $150 on belts every single time, versus this thing is $40. It's literally cheaper than most Condor options, and it comes with all the features. So again, would I like to see, you know, more Velcro engagement here on this inner belt, you know, a little bit nicer Velcro? Sure, all those things would be fantastic, but I really don't have an issue with what they did whenever you consider the price. And again, I really like, and this is something that they market on their page as well, but the fact that you can slide this on here and have more Velcro engagement and more MOLLE is a nice touch. And again, you could take this off if you don't want it, but then you'd have to use keepers because you wouldn't have Velcro along this section, which you really do need next to your pistol. And because some of you care, for whatever reason, it does come in this plastic box. They don't waste money on fancy packaging. It just says Warbull on there, and I thought that was, you know, adequate. It fits in there. This is going to go immediately in the trash like everything else does whenever I buy stuff online. I try not to save boxes because they just pile up and take up way too much space. If you all have any questions, again, about this belt, feel free to comment. Hopefully I showed you kind of how everything works. The stitching on here, if you couldn't see, is fine. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. It's double stitched along each of these. Again, it's a little thicker, so just know if you have like a really thin belt, like attachment method like this Blackhawk and the, not the Safari Lands, but the Alien gear holster that I've been using, clamp on, so you just kind of slide it over and then screw it in, versus something like Safari Land, you know, you have to slide through. So some of those slide through belts might be too thin to go on here. I don't know, I haven't tested them, but just know you'll have to test that. But again, it's through Amazon, so if it doesn't work, you can always send it back or use it with another holster. Use it for a range buddy who goes to the range and always borrows your stuff. We all have that guy, or who shows up and his equipment fails. Here's a backup that you could use. So again, for $40, I can't get over how cheap that is. I was expecting whenever I saw this to be, you know, another Condor $80 price, since it comes with a fancy buckle, inner belt, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to buy anything with this. It comes with literally everything required. So I thought this is a phenomenal deal. If you have any questions, let me know. I just thought this was a great deal and wanted to do a review on it. And if you appreciate this kind of content, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. I do have a Rumble account. You can, you know, go watch that if you want to. I have all of like 4 people that watch my Rumble, so obviously I make like, you know, a whole 4 cents off YouTube. So, and click on the Amazon links down below. Those are usually affiliate links that I have whenever possible, because that's the way that I help fund this, you know, throw money down the toilet YouTube channel that I have, because I do not make money on this YouTube channel. If anything, I lose money. But that's a way for me to recuperate a little bit, and it allows me to be as unbiased as possible, because Amazon is a third party. They don't care, you know, if I sell or don't sell stuff. I don't take money from companies. I accept products, but I don't accept money unless they're paying for like ammo or something. But anyways, hopefully you appreciate this, and I hope you all have a good one.